All right, welcome, welcome. So today what we're going to be talking about, got the whiteboard up here. First time using the actual whiteboard here. Usually I'm using it digitally, but hopefully if you like this style, we can continue doing some trainings like this. So what I wanted to walk you through is like the difference between maybe working with me in one of my robotics programs versus other options out there, reading books, taking courses, you name it, going to trainings, going to seminars and things like that. What I wanted to do is I kind of created like this four quadrants of kind of really our ecosystem and what I've found over the last decade of working in the industry and going through the learning process myself, working in the industry, advancing my career in the industry, training thousands of people in the industry, and then running Learn Robotics and growing that to a global publication. There are these couple of key philosophies that set us apart. And so if you're a professional and you really care about your career and you want to get to that next level and you want to do it fast, so that's another big piece. So you want speed. You don't want any fluff. So no fluff. And you just want a critical path. You just want to, start down the path, do what you need to do, hit your checkpoints, and actually walk away with tangible robotic skills. Then this is really what I've optimized for. I've optimized for speed, so 12 weeks. I've optimized for the 80-20, so Pareto's principle. What do you actually need to know? The 20% that's going to yield the 80% results. And then what I've done is I've really tried to figure out what is our edge? What are the things that my learners and my clients and my students over the years, what are the things that they're actually getting when they're done with the program? In addition to the robotic skills, okay? So a key part of this is robotic skills. You'll see the like Swiss Army knife commentary that I've had where we're helping people get like Swiss Army knife skills, meaning you have a bunch of different tools, technical tools that you can deploy to different applications, and then you'll actually get the skill set. So the main things, there are three main things that you're going to get as a result or a byproduct of being in my program specifically that I just hear from people all the time. The first one is clarity. Technical people, we like to make things more complicated than they need to be. And I think there's a couple reasons for this. I think somebody was talking about how like technical people, they just like to think. And when you like to think, your mind just likes to make things more difficult than it needs to be. So my clients, my learners, my students, everyone that goes through this program, they're getting clarity. They're getting this exact step-by-step order of operations, the blueprint, the roadmap to acquire these skills fast. The other thing they're gaining is experience. One of the key things that I hear from prospective clients or prospective learners as they're thinking about joining my program, and maybe you're in this bucket as well, is why would I take this versus doing something else? And the reason is experience. So I've had engineers come to me with their 4-year degrees and they still feel like they don't have any experience other than theories, problem sets, homework problems, taking a concept in a theoretical realm and then actually applying it into the industry. They feel like they don't feel like they can do that. So gaining the actual tangible experience with an application. This is something that we do intensively over the 12 weeks. We just go application after application after application. Like the very first week, you're already going to start with 10 applications to solve a real world challenge. And I always tie it back to the industry just so that you can start to think about like how this technology would be applied if you were to work in the field. And then the last key thing that I really help my learners get, and I noticed this because we're going to talk about some of the ways that I measure this. It isn't just like a guess, is confidence. This is the biggest differentiator between my program and other programs. Every single learner that I've worked with that has gone through my programs, done my materials, taken all the trainings, done the projects, worked through it, they have a significant boost in their confidence when they go to present. So I'm doing this demo right now, like all of my learners can get up to a whiteboard and start drawing stuff out and present on a topic and be able to communicate and articulate their ideas effectively. And if that is something that if that is the only thing you get out of the work that I do with you, you are going to be all set for the rest of your career. Because if you can get up to a whiteboard and you can demonstrate a topic or a concept, when you can weave in technology and you can use different principles, like I wove in Pareto's principle at the very beginning of this conversation. Like if you want that skill, that is literally the most valuable skill that you could have, is walking in with confidence and presenting your ideas. Now, you might be asking me how I get these 3 core things for my learners and my clients working in my training programs. And it comes back to this methodology that we use. So the methodology is called train, do, present. Okay. And let's talk about what I mean by this. So train. So what we're going to do is this is where you're going to be introduced a concept or a skill. And you're going to understand what the concept or the skill is. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you some practical examples. Then you're going to take the skill and you're going to use it. So you're going to actually do a lab activity. So we're going to go over here, you're going to do it, and you're going to do that through a lab activity. And that lab is going to have specific requirements, just like you were to engineer a solution like at a company, or if you wanted to take your invention or a prototype and create an MVP, you're going to have a series of requirements. You're going to have to be able to take your knowledge, the skill, and actually apply it in a lab. And in addition to the lab, you're now going to have to present it. So we have this modern ecosystem, right, where a lot of people, they're working remotely. They do a lot of virtual meetings. They do a lot of presentations, a lot of collaborative work. And what we do is we also help you practice presenting. So every single time you do a lab, you are going to demonstrate the lab and your findings and your results in a demo. So we do demos, and right now is actually a demo. So I'm showing you an example of what a demo could look like. You can do whiteboard demos, you can do actual prototype demos, you can show your code, you can show what you found to solve this lab. And the goal of this is to start getting practice and to get a very specific intentional practice, so that over 12 weeks you have this snowball. And all of a sudden, this snowball is just building up, building up, building up, building up. And by the end, you have this massive snowball of your experience. You have practical experience. You are clear. You understand what's going on. You have practical experience tied to actual applications using the technology. And then you have the confidence to present on it. Why do you have the confidence? Because it's all stuff you've done, right? So I always like to share this kind of analogy of like, is it easy to tell a story about something that you've done, or is it easy to just make up a story on the fly? It's probably easier to tell a story about something that you've done, right? Something that you've actually experienced, right? And so as you're in the program with me, we're not only training you on the skills and like the real concepts, like the laws and the foundations and the math and like the process, but you're actually going to get it in a more applied way, right? So we spend a lot more time on doing and presenting than we do sitting and watching lectures. Now, there is a time and a place for the theoreticals. There is a time and a place. Like if you have this goal of being a hardcore researcher, working in a lab and finding new discoveries, then spending more time developing your theoretical brain is important. But I would say for probably 80% of the people that I've worked with, maybe even a little bit higher, majority of the people, your goal is to actually work in a career. So you want to work in a career. You want to do something that's meaningful. And you're probably not looking at spending your time in a research lab, like doing the hardcore PhD research type stuff. That is not really who I am best equipped to serve. I've got many, strategies and philosophies around advanced degrees, and I'm sure in another video I'll cover that. But for you watching this, if you're just a regular professional, you've got maybe a bachelor's degree, you're working in engineering, you have some technical background, maybe you're completely new, but you know you need to get technical skills and you need to do it quickly and you don't want to go back to school. Your goal is to be able to take these skills and actually get the career. So what we end up doing is we train you up on what you need to know, the 80-20. You do it, you get a lot of practice, you build out all these labs, you present it, you have demos, you do this over the 12 weeks, and then what happens is we start building out a tracker. And so this tracker becomes a log of all of your demos and the video URLs, your photos, feedback from me. So this becomes a living, breathing document of my feedback to you, improvements, things like that. You've got the demo, what you did, what the project was, links exactly to the videos of your demos, any photos that you have, and it becomes this living, breathing list of dozens of projects. And that now has a physical document. That's a physical document that has all of your experience in one place, showcasing that you know what you're doing, right? Because you have the skills. Not only do you know what you're doing, and I should even put in code. So you have your code, you have photos of what you've done, you have diagrams of what you've done, you have the video demos of what you've done, whatever you need to create the solution. And we go into detail on how to create submissions for this in the program. But what I want you to understand is we're creating a log of our work. So at any point in time, if we ever said, you know what, hey, I want to go out and get a different type of job, I want to work in robotics, or I want to do work maybe more with sensors or with data collection or whatever, we have literally a repertoire of our best work over the last 12 weeks. And not only do we have a log of what we have done over the last 12 weeks, we actually have experienced it. So that's authenticity, which comes across as confidence. And then you walk into these meetings with hiring managers and you're able to kind of tell them this story of like all the work that you've done, real world examples. And the last and final piece of what I help you do is I help you package all of this up. So you're going to leave with this package of skills, experience, demos, examples. And this package becomes your robotics professional brand. And this brand, what we do is we layer in your skills and your experience, your demos. We also now have the confidence, the soft skills, the experience, the clarity, but we also have the career components as well. So we have the resume and we have the portfolio. And I know this looks really condensed and really tightened in, but we have this down to a literal science. I've been doing this for the better half of a decade now, probably closer to 2 decades at this point. And as I've had the chance to really reflect and refine who gets the best results in my programs, it is professionals who want to be clear on what they're communicating, what they're learning, how what they're learning is going to help them gain experience in the real world with real applications, and the confidence to then go take this package. This is now going to become your career package, and you're going to be able to go into interviews and you're going to be able to take this package in there and you're going to be able to give them actual tangible examples of the work that you've worked on in my 12-week program. And this is why my process, my program is quite literally the best investment of your career. If you want to get into robotics and you want to do so in a way where you're not just sitting and watching lectures, but you're actually leaving with the full package, you're leaving with communication skills, presentation skills, you're able to draw from your experience, practice demoing and giving actual technical presentations. This is a big one right here. If that's all you leave with, you'll be able to present on anything in front of anybody, and then have a really good professional brand, finding the right career opportunities, leveraging your background, my resume process, building out a portfolio. So what we can do is we can take your tracker from the 12 weeks. I've done a workshop on how to get this tracker up online into a digital portfolio. So then you can go out, you can share that URL, you can bring it up on your phone if you ever need to showcase some of the work that you're doing, if you want to, kind of get ahead, or if you're in an interview and you think that would help, demonstrate your competencies, you can share that right away. So really what we're tackling over the 12 weeks, we're tackling speed. We're tackling no fluff. So we've got a lot of folks that come to me because they're considering a master's degree. Now, if this is you, listen up. If you're considering a master's degree, ask yourself, why do you think you need one? If your reasoning is you want to be an academic, you want to be a professor, you want to be in a research lab discovering the next novel thing, then okay, that's a fair enough thought. But if you think you need it because you're trying to gain experience, there is a faster way than waiting 2 years and spending 30 grand. I actually have a learner in the program right now. She was on this track. She was working in quality, I think, quality assurance. And she hopped into the program. She's in my training program right now. And she was considering spending 30 grand on a master's degree, when in reality, what she really wanted to do was just get experience and more confident in her technical abilities and leave with this nice career package. So now we work with professionals. She spends probably 5 hours a week, maybe less, on working on just the critical things that need to get done to build all of this out. And 12 weeks, and she can still stay in her current job. She doesn't have to, totally readjust her life. She doesn't have to spend 30 grand. She doesn't have to waste 2 years. She's got the fast track to getting what she needs to get to pursue that next level in her technical career. And not just do so in an aimless way. There's a lot of people that they come to me and they've taken so much training that they don't even know what they know, because they're just so confused by how many trainings they've taken. They don't know how all the pieces connect. And so if you're in that system, or you're in that situation right now where maybe you're like, I've done all these trainings, but I don't actually know what I've gotten out of these trainings, then I would encourage you to just kind of think about, like, okay, so you're in the train mode. What have you done with those skills, or what could you do with those skills? What kind of practical applications or inventions could you make with those skills, just to start actually using the skill? And then once you have the project or the application or some invention created, then what you can do is you can practice presenting it. You can totally go through and do this yourself. And honestly, if you are in this mode, you probably should, because if all you're doing is sitting there and just watching videos and trying to absorb as much knowledge and skills on your own, and you're not doing anything with it, you're going to lose it. The best way to get really good with your skills is to keep using them and keep practicing them and deploy them into a variety of applications. Now, hopefully this makes sense. If this is something that you're serious about and you want some help, taking your career from, kind of uncertain, unclear what to do, not really feeling like you've got enough experience to be successful, certainly not feeling as confident in your abilities running a presentation or doing a presentation on your technical knowledge, I can help you. All you need to do is click, there's going to be a link below this video for the LR training. You can check out that page. I go in more detail around the actual projects and the applications. So we do agriculture, we do space, we do manufacturing, we do design, rapid prototyping. So like if you're a professional and you are looking for a fast way to get a whole bunch of skills and experience in robotics, package it up with confidence, and have that clarity so that you can advance your career to the next level, this is going to help you out. So I'd encourage you to click the link below this training and check out that page. There's going to be a ton of walkthrough videos on that page, some real examples. There's a couple of demo videos of like my training style, because at the end of the day, I want this to be fun. I want this to be engaging. I want you to leave feeling like you've accomplished something. You know, you've got this awesome set of tools at your disposal that you can deploy to get to that next level. And I want you to be able to actually complete it in a reasonable amount of time. So go ahead and check that link below. And if you're not ready to get started with formal training, that's okay. I've got some videos popping up on the screen right now. You can go check those out. And until next time, I'm Liz from Learn Robotics. Hopefully this was helpful. If you did like this style of video, just hit the thumbs up button. I'm hopping back on the YouTube train here, trying to share some of my philosophies from behind the scenes. So if you did like this whiteboard style training, just let me know and I'll make more of these. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.